Well, we now continue our weekly land report segment with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers. Howard Halderman joins us now with the latest from Indiana. Howard, thank you so much for your time. So let's start with, in light of the recent decline in commodity prices, how are you seeing that affect the farmland market in the Eastern Corn Belt? What are you seeing there?
Well, I think the best word I would use is cooling. The market seems to be cooling a little bit as we have come into 2024. We enjoyed 3 excellent farm income years in the Corn Belt. So that would have been in 21, 22, and 23. And I think that income will continue to basically help premium farms bring premium prices. But where the cooling off is really happening is on those average to below average farms, or maybe in areas where we would see some market saturation, where a number of sales have already occurred, and therefore the demand is cooled off a little bit because the cash has been consumed. So the cooling would be the main term I would use for the marketplace today due to lower incomes in 24.
So it really depends on region, on area. As far as higher interest rates, as we look at that, of course, over the past 2 years, a lot of folks struggling with that. How is that impacting?
Well, interest rates have 2 impacts on farmland values. One would be, obviously, the cost of borrowing money is increased. It's more than double what it was 3 years ago. And so that will have an impact on your ability to cash flow a purchase. But the second impact is maybe even more significant, and that's where it also increases the return that alternative investments, such as CDs, bonds, and other things might deliver to an investor. So we tend to see some investors now making a decision saying, yeah, maybe I won't buy the farm that'll generate a 2.5% cash yield, and I'd rather buy the CD that will generate a 5% yield. And so it has 2 impacts, and both are not would be what I would classify as bearish to farmland values.
Absolutely. You know, we've heard about no more sales happening at farmland auctions, and I know that you do a lot of those. What are you seeing in the Eastern Corn Belt as far as that?
Well, here at Halderman, Suzanne, we're blessed that we have not had any no sales. That said, certainly the bidding is not as fervent as what it was a year ago or 2 years ago. And so there are some no sales that are occurring out there. We do a big emphasis with our selling clients on helping them understand the market, what to expect, what we're seeing in the market right up to the minute, and really try to help educate them as they go into an auction time frame. And therefore, their expectations are maybe not at the peak of what they might have been 12 months ago.
Before I let you go, Howard, looking forward, of course, and how this is all trending, your advice for an investor right now?
If I'm an investor, I think if you want to buy in the Corn Belt, probably fall, next winter might be a better time than today. Like I said earlier, premium farms are still bringing premium prices. And if commodity prices remain where they are, and we have a normal production year this year, I think one would argue we could see lower land values come fall, especially in the Corn Belt. That said, there are other regions of the country that have not experienced the rapid increase in farmland value that we've seen here in the Corn Belt. And so if you wanted to look at the Delta, let's say, or maybe out on the West Coast or in the southeastern part of the country, there are some options in those locations that might not have seen the appreciation that we experienced. So I would be a little more patient, Suzanne, and wait for the right property, the piece that you're really looking for, and make your acquisition at that price.
And I'm sure
farmland historically has always paid off as an investment.
And Howard, you are the man they could call. I'm sure you have this information and they can get all of the help that they need right there with Halderman. Howard, thank you so much. Howard Halderman with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers. Appreciate you joining us.